You're about to listen to TADPOG, Tyler and Dave Play Old Games. It's a comedy video game podcast. We would like to stress that the hosts are not experts and are really just very crass commentators. Seriously, this is an explicit podcast that happens to talk about video games sometimes. So please enjoy this pretty okay podcast with Tyler and Dave.
Hello, Internet, and welcome to another TADPOG podcast. It's a game. It's not a game.
You can play it. It's got
Should be a game.
102 megs.
Will be a game
play it.
eventually.
We've talked about that for a long time.
Yep.
It's never going to happen.
Well, I mean,
There's like a Game Boy game maker now that's like, I hear easy to use. So
okay.
we can, I don't want to do it, but like maybe someone would do it for us. That'd be cool.
That'd be cool. You're right. That would be cool. Maybe
really,
that'll happen someday.
That'd be really awesome. Yeah.
But right now, we're a show, not yet a game, that happens once a week. Where, for right now, our current game and, our current shtick, and will be for quite
Forever.
some time.
For the next 10 years, I think.
Yeah, it'll be a long time.
Yeah.
It's praying to our new god, the Randomizer, to give us a new SNES game to play.
All hail the randomizer.
All hell the Randomizer. And last week, our chaotic god gave us Art of Fighting.
Yeah, Art of Fighting. That was our task.
Yep. We did it.
Yeah, I mean, I played the game. I'm ready to talk about it, I guess.
But before all that, I'm your bearded host, Tyler. And I have a question.
Okay, for me?
For everybody.
Okay.
For you, for everybody listening, they can comment on the episode post, let me know, give me some advice. Should I show my balls to Ross Rachel Green?
Yes.
Because after I talked about how awful my balls were and that I had a picture, he's the only one out of everybody who's like, well, let me pull up the conversation. But he's the only one who asked to see my balls.
You asked me if I really wanted to see them.
Yeah, I offered it to you.
Yeah, and I said no. I said no, thank you.
Okay. Let's see.
And it wasn't because it was your balls. It was because I don't want to see I don't want to see a not safe for life photograph of your balls.
Because to me on July 12th, dude, this is the only time I will ever type this sentence, but I have to see that picture of your balls.
Show me them balls, Tyler.
If it makes you feel better, we can trade. Mine aren't that exciting. I was like, are you certain? No. Yes. I don't know. It's like a car crash. I have to see, but I don't know if I want to. I was like, oh, it's pretty gnarly and unkempt. It's a scrotum.
Unkempt?
Unkempt. Like I hadn't trimmed. Like
what?
I should have.
You don't want to shave your
my
painful black bruised ball?
Well, they shaved my balls for me before, but like all the top hair,
orderly.
My mons pubis hair, like unkempt, unruly.
Right. Like a wildfire.
Exactly. I mean, I am a natural redhead.
Right.
It's a scrotum. There's nothing attractive about balls. I was like, true, but it's up to you. Yeah, I have to know. I was like, I wonder if Zuckerberg would ban me for sending you a picture.
Did you find out?
I don't know. I'm also asking, can I send Ross Rachel Green a picture of my balls over Facebook?
Just start a Snapchat.
Or do I need to snap him a picture of my balls? That way they will be gone after he sees them. And he can't blackmail me with my battered, bruised Eeyore without ears testicles.
I mean, that'd be pretty... How would someone blackmail you with that?
I don't know. They could.
You know?
They could. You're right.
That's not mine. That's not my Eeyore.
That's
what you could say.
That's not mine. I did a podcast about describing this exact thing. Those aren't mine.
Just don't include your face.
That's true. Or I'd have to Photoshop my face like into the corner, like
looking at
look at the little speech bubble. Look at my balls.
Wow. Or like the magnets that you'd put on photos like in the 90s where it's like you got a thought bubble and it's like, wow.
Those are the balls of Tyler Hall, and they give my social security number. Like, oh.
Do you remember those whiteboards that people would have on their dorm doors?
Yes. Oh, my God. Shake had one, and he was very enthusiastic about his whiteboard.
Oh, yeah?
Leaving messages. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I don't know why all the ball talk reminded me of that. Maybe because we drew dicks on them a lot.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that's probably it.
That lines up.
Yeah. They're intrinsically linked forever in my mind. See a whiteboard, draw a donger on it.
See, I am slightly I mean, I love, like, my very first place was Jacob and I got an apartment together, but I am slightly regretful of missing out on, like, one semester of the dorm experience in a co-ed dorm. I would not want to be at a all-male dorm. Fuck that. But I'm slightly regretful that not having that experience.
I lived in the girls' dorm, and it was sweet. Yeah, it was pretty. It was really actually very nice.
Did your girlfriend live in Elizabeth?
Springer.
Springer. So
Yeah.
then you were over there all the time?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was good with the RA and everything. Like I literally lived over there. Like I like all my shit was over there.
Did you have your own dorm?
Yeah.
You just ghosted in your own dorm and stayed over there.
Yeah. I didn't like the guy. I didn't like my roommate, and also he wouldn't let me fuck him. So
Lord knows I tried.
right. So meanwhile, in the other dorm, she would let me fuck her. So it's like, all right, this works out. I want to live here. Can I live here?
Did she have a
Can
roommate?
I get this on tap?
I mean, did she have a roommate that didn't mind, or did her roommate also ghost? It was just like the two of you.
Her roommate ghosted. So it all worked out.
Yep.
It all worked out.
It's pretty good.
That was a pretty good semester.
Yeah.
Yeah. Surprised I made it through school, honestly.
Well, do you want to take an Ask Reddit?
Let's do it.
Because, I mean,
We don't have anything to talk
we
about.
don't. We had a really
Spoilers.
bad storm. It was a normal kind of work week.
Yeah.
And
You wanna hear about
I
my
spent a lot of
power
time in the
outage?
NICU. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
probably not. What's Ask Reddit got? Hi, I'm Dave, by the way.
Let's see.
You might know me from this podcast.
What is something your parents did that you never do with your kids?
That I never do with my kids? Or
That
would never do?
You would never do.
True, man. I almost said spank, but
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
I've never spanked Kenna. Timeouts and like standing in the corner has been perfectly effective.
same here. But I do reserve the right
Yeah.
to spank if needed.
Yeah.
Like, Nikki and I have had that conversation. It's like, I do not want to spank Henry. But
If I caught Kenna with like a wet penny going into a light socket, I would probably grab her and spank her.
yeah.
But in any other circumstance, like I'm going to sit down and rationalize why it was a bad decision and put her in a timeout.
Wet nickel, completely different
So
scenario.
it's not even gonna
It's
fit in
fine.
there. That's
Right,
fine.
it's all good.
I advise everybody to try to get a wet nickel into a light socket. Go ahead.
I'm trying to think of the things that my parents did that I hated. There really weren't a whole lot of things that I outright hated that they did. There's plenty of annoying things, but
Yeah.
I think that's just parents.
But there's stuff that my parents didn't do that I do with Kenna and we'll do with the girls and everything.
Like
And
watch YouTube videos.
watch YouTube videos. Well, like we never went anywhere. Like I think I
yeah.
played as many video games as I did because we never went anywhere. So like Melissa was like, "Oh, let's take the kids to the park." Like the park. Now, what is that? Like I can think of like one time being very little going to the park, and even then it was a family reunion. Like
Yeah.
I'd never went and played in the park as a kid ever.
I don't like doing it.
Ever.
I really don't like I don't like taking Henry out to the park.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and it has nothing to do with him or how he is or the park. I just don't like anytime I go out in public, it's
Mm-hmm.
I'm always uncomfortable. Like always uncomfortable. Like especially if I'm like out of my car or something. Like if I'm sitting on a bench in public, it's
Mm-hmm.
like the worst fucking thing in the world. I hate it.
Why is that?
I don't know if it's me alone or like me with just Henry or something. Like
Mm-hmm.
I hate it. It's not a big deal with them like in a group of people or something like that.
Okay.
Just like being out.
Like the time we took the kids to the park, you were okay because I was with you.
Yeah, I mean it was like I don't know. I just feel weird. It's like
But I feel bad now for like, hey Dave, let's go with the kids to the park.
no.
hate this.
You fucking bastard. I don't know how to tell Tyler no to this. No, it's
I'll tell him 2 years from now during a podcast.
right. All right, I don't want to offend him. How long do I wait?
Oh
2
boy,
years.
he's gonna wait till the 5-year doozy I tell him for that one thing he did.
If he brings it up in 2 years, I will then say something. No, I don't know, man. I don't like going places. Like, I don't even like I went to Walmart the other day. Like, dude, I haven't been to Walmart I do not get out. Like when I come home from work on Friday, I'm in my house or like doing yard work all weekend. Like I will like go to just hamburgers to get lunch or something like that. Or if we go out to dinner or something, I'm fine for whatever reason. Maybe it's probably because Nikki's there, you know. I don't know, man. I always feel weird when I'm out by myself or just by myself with Henry. I don't know. It's just
Unless you're missing work. If you're missing work and you're alone, that's good. So remember that one time you had to miss work and you had to go to Walmart to get your tires changed and you went to Chong's to eat.
no, that was great.
You're like, that was just played on my phone and ate Chong's for an hour. That's nice.
But that again involved a restaurant.
Oh, okay, a restaurant. Okay.
For whatever
Makes sense.
reason, restaurants like safe harbor.
It's a little more socially acceptable and no one's really going to bother you besides the person who should, the waiter.
Yeah, I think that's the real crux of it.
Any random parent could try to make conversation with you on a
I
bench.
hate that. And it's like
Yeah.
I dread going to like Henry's like preschool events and stuff like that. Not because I don't like the other parents. It's not that at all.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I do not want them to talk to me.
No, small talk does fucking suck so much.
And it's like I realize that I'm an asshole by feeling that way, but it's like that is just me. Like I don't want to make the small talk, and it's like, come on, like seriously, are we gonna be friends now? You know, it's like we're having a conversation about this preschool event, and it's like what I'm dreading is I don't want this person to be like, hey man, you want to come over on like Sunday and like we'll grill out or something? And it's like, no, I don't want to do that.
That depends. Do you party?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And by party, I mean like make one in Dungeons and Dragons, because then that's a different story. Like if you want to grill out and play D&D, okay, maybe.
It's tough. Like unless a conversation starts out with, hey man, what's your favorite Final Fantasy? There's like a good chance that we're not going to click, you know? Like, cause like, I don't know, man. Adults are into adult shit, and I feel like I am not into the same shit a lot of grown ass men in Kentucky are into.
So what are your insurance policies like?
You're right. And it's like, I think I have one.
I remember at John Turley's wedding, we're all sitting at our table with like me and you, Nikki, Ramon, JD, a whole bunch of us are there, and like it's the first time like I've seen Ramon in forever, so we all just kind of like awkwardly. Then eventually, the first thing we all enthusiastically talk about are our insurance plans. Till I finally was like, this is the most sadly adult ass conversation we've ever had. The last time we were all sitting at a table, we were rolling dice, and now we're talking about insurance.
And now we're rolling the dice of our lives. I don't know, man. I got a really high deductible, but I don't get sick that often. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I'd rather be seriously, like a perfect weekend is, and most weekends are, I get home from work and I'm in my house until I leave Monday morning.
Just avoiding awkwardness is your goal.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, pretty much.
That's fair.
Yeah. And it's like, I'll make up excuses too, because it's like on Sunday, it's like, oh man, I got to stream. I got to stream at like, like what time? I don't know, like 7:30, 7:30, 8:30, something like that.
When do you got to stream? Sunday. It's Friday.
Right.
Yeah.
I need that. It's weird. I need that prep time. Like, well, one of the things that like drives me crazy is like, hey man, there's a social thing that you need to do in 5 minutes. It's like, I
try my best to never put you in that situation anymore.
It's a tough
It was
one.
something I did a lot in college.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah, it's true.
I did it to a lot of people, and one friend was 20% of the reason we lost contact was that it was always last minute invites to do something, and then a hard time when he was like, no.
Yeah, I dodged a lot of your D&D games because of that.
Oh yeah, they were all last
And
minute.
it was like I'd be getting off work at Office Depot, and I'd get a call, and it's like, I don't know, man, because you're like, hey man, you get the game in an hour.
Let me ask Nikki. What, Nikki? Nope. Sorry,
Yeah,
gotta go
right?
home. Bye.
Yeah, she said no. See ya. And it's not because I didn't want to hang out. It's just because it's like, I don't know, man. I need some time to prep for social interaction.
You're an introvert. That's how you, especially once you're tired, that's how you recover your energy.
Yeah.
And like, so that's one thing I had to learn, that being an introvert doesn't mean you're not social.
Yeah.
Because like you and Blake are both introverts, but I feel like you're both very social and not like super shy and reserved when you hang out with people.
Got to prep for it.
Yeah, you just need to recover and prep. And, that's just
got to build up that strength.
Yeah.
Seriously, man.
Yeah,
like
totally
that's like staying at home is like, I don't know. It's like, that's where I build up my energy.
Yeah.
And it's like, I do not, like anytime I'm out and about, it's never building up energy. It's always just a drain.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
No, I understand that. Like being friends with Blake taught me a lot about patient with people who aren't like me. Which Blake and I are on the same wavelength, but except when it comes, like, I too like to recharge like that, but I can also, hey, like, I'm an ambivert. I can get it for both ways, but I understand both sides of the coin. So, like, I don't know. At the time, I was angry at Blake a lot for, like, bailing on stuff, but now I very much understand. I wish I could do it all over again with that understanding.
Well, see, like with me, like now especially, like back in college, I would bail on a lot of stuff, but like now it's like, and what makes it like the stakes higher is like I don't want to bail on stuff. Like if I commit to something, I'm going to commit to it. Which is also like one of those things where it's like I just got to be more honest and be like, no, if I don't want to do something or if it's not enough notice, I just got to be like, I'm sorry. I would like to do this thing, but like I just can't, man. Like I don't have the fortitude to do it right now.
Yeah. That's what I noticed that about you and Jacob both. It's just like when you do say you will do something, you do it absolutely.
Yeah.
But now there's more like, because you don't want to not do something you say you do, there's more thought into saying that, giving that yes.
Right.
Which I think is that's 100% better the way to be than yes and then fold last minute or something.
Well, that's why it took me 7 years to ask Nikki to marry me, because it's like, I don't know, man. 3 years in, I'm like, I don't know. Let me mull this over for like 4 more years.
Gene Simmons doing a pretty cool thing. It's whatever.
What does he do?
Been with the same woman for like 40 years before he married her.
Oh, is that
or
right?
Whatever. Yeah, I forget her name, but yeah.
His wife, I guess. I don't know.
His wife now, I think they finally got married after being together for 40 years and having like 3 or 4 kids and
that's
all the kind of stuff. They just weren't married.
That's the weird line for me, is where it's like, I don't know. And it's probably just because of my upbringing. Like I remember being a kid and like my parents would talk about like a baby that was born out of wedlock, and it was like a big deal. And it's like, it's weird.
It's a bastard.
Right. Yeah. And what's weird about it is like me as an adult now, like I know a child, like I know a few children who were born out of wedlock, and like they're in loving families, and it's like I don't hold anything against them or their situation, but there is this part of me like deep inside my brain that is like, but I wouldn't want to do that. You know what I mean? It's like I'm cool with all this, but I wouldn't want to do this.
Yeah, it's that tiny Catholic Dave inside that
it is.
Occasionally is very loud.
Totally.
But yeah, I can't think of anything my parents did, just like, because I know Melissa is very much get out and do stuff, and which that was completely foreign to me. Completely foreign. But it's a thing I appreciate now, because I wish that we had done more stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I just did. I played a lot of video games.
Thank God.
I'm glad I'm where I am, though. But
my mom takes Henry a lot of places, which is like really nice. Because it's like, and I've told her, I was like, I really appreciate you like taking him to the park and stuff like that, because I know he really enjoys it. But it's like, man, that is a tough one for me.
Yeah. Okay, another answer. Let's see. Push them into something to the point where it's no longer their dream or yours. They never did that to me, but I was pushed into a lot of sports for a long time, and that was just never going to be my bag.
Yeah, I was too, but I think it was because my parents wanted me to try stuff, and they were worried, for good reason, that if they didn't push me to do it, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Because it's like, man, it is like, I am a tough motherfucker to motivate, like for sure. Like, I mean, like I got to be really invested in something, like to actually want to do it. Mm-hmm. There are not a lot of things that I want to do, like seriously.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like if they hadn't ridden me as hard as they did, like, I mean, I don't know. Like, there are a lot of things that I wouldn't have done and wouldn't have tried.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of the things I did and tried, I did not like, sports things. But I don't know. I'm definitely not going to push Henry to do things that I know he doesn't want to do.
Yeah.
Like, because on one hand, it's like, yeah, it's nice to get all these life experiences, I guess. But wouldn't it be better to, like, find something that you really like and then cultivate that? Like,
see, that's what Melissa does with the girls. Like, once they ask to do something, sure, and they do it. But once they're inside of that, if they're talented or skilled or like it, then she'll push them to do something. Like, she'll push Artsy AJ into like entering art contests, which
it's in her name.
Which she wouldn't normally want to do. But then it's always like, do you know how many people actually do this? Not many. So I mean, enter, and who knows, you might win $50. Or just like there was like Brandon Jr. likes history, and there was just this random like write a 3-page essay over colonial America. And like Melissa pushed her to do it. Like, just do it. It'd be very easy for you. And she just took out 3 sheets of paper and just did it by hand, wrote 3 pages, and won what had to be a $5,000 trip, essentially all up and down all the hotspots for colonial America, all paid for, all food.
It's awesome.
Everything. She just needed like $100 for souvenirs if she wanted them. And it was fucking awesome. Like, because no one does shit like,
exactly.
Oh, why would I, she did, and she fucking won and got in there, and it was incredible.
One.
We got one!
You're going to Colonial Miracle Trail. Come on, girl. There's no one else with you.
Because I just remember, like, I was told, well, you need to try this, you need to try this. Like, very few things that I asked to do and was given. The only thing I asked to do, I wanted to be in Boy Scouts. I really wanted to be in Boy Scouts.
Yeah.
So they did. They let me go to one Boy Scout meeting about joining, and then my dad was like, I don't have to take you to this. And we just didn't go back, and I didn't get to be in Boy Scouts.
All right, well.
Because granted, we lived a whole 2 minutes from the school where they all were, so I could understand.
Yeah. That's one of those things where it's like, man, because like it would be tough. Because I'm trying to put myself, right, in your dad's shoes. And it's like, man, that would suck. Because I know I wouldn't want to be there either. But it's also one of those things where it's like, I want to gauge Henry's, like, feelings on it. You know what I mean? Like, is he really into this? Because if he's really into this, it's fine. I'll sit here and I'll play on my phone and try not to make eye contact with anybody. That kind of deal.
Yeah.
But if he's not into it, I'll be like, hey, man, are you into this? Because I am not.
The only thing that they discouraged me from doing that, I was like, no, fuck you. I like this. I'm going to keep doing this. Was theater in high school.
Oh, yeah? They discouraged you from doing theater?
Well, they didn't like having to take me back and forth to rehearsals.
They didn't like having a soft boy.
Yeah, they didn't have like soft doy boy up there shouting lines. No. So, I mean, they were eventually.
Did you tell them, like, Mom, Dad, theater kids fuck? Do you not understand this?
I could have told my dad that. He would have been like, all right, fine. I'm going to send your mom to get you. I'm not coming to get you, but okay.
I mean, I'm not wrong.
I mean, that's how I met how the girl I lost my virginity to was through theater.
Of course you did.
And then
I remember
my dad finds the condoms in my car like a year later.
I remember being in high school and like my junior year, I was like, oh man, I wish someone would have told me about this fucking drama thing because like these kids get laid. These kids fuck.
Did band kids not at your school? Because band kids did at my school. That was the other, like, they were one big fucking family. Like, I mean, fucking, literally fucking, like, had each other's backs, but they also fucked each other.
Band was like pretty serious in my school. So it was like, it was a lot of business. There were some hand stuff would happen on bus trips. Some mouth stuff would happen on bus trips. Other than that, I mean, I don't know. But like the drama kids, like, I mean, the drama kids fucked. Like, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's true.
So I'll push Henry towards drama. Listen.
Go ahead and get him a vasectomy now. It's reversible. But then push him into theater.
Here's the rule, Henry. You can I guess you can get a girl pregnant, but you have to be married to her first. So,
so if you're gonna do it, them's the rules.
Yeah, sorry. What paper do I need to sign? It's fine. There you go. You're married.
Oh man. All right, that's a pretty good intro time.
That's this whole parenting thing that we're talking about is an amazing segue into art of fighting.
That's true.
It really is.
Yeah.
It truly is.
Because what is parenting if not the art of fighting?
I could spoil this game and tell you why it's a good segue.
Oh, that's true. I didn't think about that, but you're right. Well, do you hear that, Dave?
I do hear that. It sounds like a bunch of children lamenting over the things that their parents did and did not push them towards. That's the other thing. You're fucking damned if you do, damned if you don't. Like there is no like when it comes to parenting, like good luck, man. I don't feel like there's a good answer. You know, like there's not a right or wrong. Like there's pretty much always a wrong.
Yeah.
Hindsight is 20/20 thing. Of course, I hear all those children lamenting the things that their parents did and did not push themselves into, which of course ushers in a segment that we like to call Dave Reads from Wikipedia. Okay, guys, art of fighting, or as it's known in Japan, Ryuko no Ken, which translates to Fist of Dragon and Tiger, is a fighting video game trilogy that were released for the Neo Geo platform in the early 1990s. We today are specifically talking about the first game in that trilogy, and not the Neo Geo version, but more specifically, the version that came out on the Super Nintendo. The Art of Fighting series follows the conventions of the time when it came out, in the sense that the player faces a variety of opponents and best 2 out of 3 matches. Each of the game's characters have a unique fighting style and a set of special techniques. The player has 2 basic attacks, punch and kick, as well as utility buttons that switch between punches, kicks, and throws. I feel like we're really getting into like the whole, like, we can just talk about this.
Okay.
We don't need Wikipedia for
Yeah.
this. We got it.
Sure.
It's a fighting game that SNK developed.
Yep.
This is a port of an arcade game that honestly a lot of people don't look at fondly. I streamed this on Twitch, and when I did, several people came in who knew a lot about the game, which is awesome. I love it when that happens, because it's like, thank you for like giving me these hooks. I can look into this stuff. And like Arc the Ladder is somebody who was on there who was just like, here's a whole bunch of info on this game, and it's like they gave me so much information that I could just kind of like track down, you know? But like one of the things, like the general kind of like rumbling that I got about this game while I was playing it was like, yeah, this is not a very good fighting game. Like a lot of people didn't have like a lot of good memories about it, or even like hold it in high regard.
Yeah.
It's kind of overshadowed by the Fatal Fury series, which does predate Art of Fighting. And they are interconnected. Like the stories connect together, which I do think is really cool. This game, The Art of Fighting, takes place in the 70s, and it's kind of a prequel to Fatal Fury. It involves Terry Bogard's dad.
Oh, okay.
Essentially, the story of the game is the whole plot is there's a guy named Rio, and there's a guy named Robert Garcia. And
Ryu and Steven Seagal.
Pretty much. Steven Seagal meets Antonio Banderas. Like, I mean, like, it's kind of like...
As badass as that sounds.
I mean, that's pretty badass. Like a 4 rooms.
That's what my dad would call a pussy machine.
Your dad's not wrong.
Yeah.
There is like... So, of course, they're Ryu and Ken. Like, I mean, they are Ryu Ken. Like, it's like... I mean... They're so like...
This shit rips a lot of stuff off Street Fighter
Oh,
franchise.
yeah, absolutely.
A lot of shit.
And for good reason. There's a really good reason for that.
Street Fighter's really good.
Yeah, it's because Street Fighter was very popular.
So if you emulate Street Fighter, you're still like ahead of half the game.
The guy who made Street Fighter 1, Takashi Nishiyama, he went on to work at SNK after Street Fighter 1. And like his whole goal was like, I don't want anyone to remember Street Fighter 1. And it's like, well...
Okay, the one where you're Ryu and like sort of a brawler type.
Right.
Okay.
It's like he
did a pretty good job.
Yeah, exactly. He went on he directed the Fatal Fury franchise for a bit and had an influence on the Art of Fighting through that. So it's like, it's because of that where it's like... And also, like, I read an article where it's like SNK poached a whole bunch of Capcom creatives and developers. And it's like, because of that, like, there are like clear derivatives of like Street Fighter characters and like moves. Cause it's like the moves in this game, like to perform I think it's called it's not a Hadouken, but it is very similar to Hadouken.
Yeah,
I can't
it's
remember
like
what it's called.
Heioken.
I mean, it's like it's like one syllable different kind of deal, and it's like the control motion to cast it is the not somatic Kubota. Is it somatic Kubota?
Somatic. I mean,
when you move your fingers.
When you move your fingers, you need to cast a spell. Yeah, somatic.
Thank you. I couldn't remember.
You're
Yeah,
right.
the somatic component to cast is the exact same. It's a quarter circle forward.
Yep.
So there's a whole bunch of that stuff in it. And it's like the moves are very similar too. So yeah, you got Rio and you got not Ken, you got Robert. And the story of the game is Rio's sister, Yuri, has been kidnapped and you're just going to rescue her.
Yeah, and it reminds me of like the Yoshi trading game in Link's Awakening because it's just like you're going to different...
Yep.
Like the first guy, you You beat this guy up, and he's like, I don't know where she is. So then you just go somewhere else.
You just go they tell you to go somewhere else. You beat up that guy, and then he is also like, I don't know where she is, but you might want to talk to this guy. It's like the fighting
Till eventually you beat ass until you find the right track.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. And it's like you eventually do find Yuri if you beat the game on the default difficulty. If it's
4 or 5 stars?
4 is the default difficulty.
Okay.
It goes up to 8. You can crank it down to 1, but anything under 4, if you finish the game, if you beat the boss, whose name is Karate.
Karate, of course.
His name is
you
Karate.
Fight the living embodiment of karate.
I have become Karate, destroyer of boards, and you
ice blocks and bottles.
Yes, man, we're gonna get into that. If you beat the game on difficulty 3 or less, you get voice modulation of congratulations, congratulations, congratulations. But it's like, okay, this is nice. But if you beat the game on the default difficulty, it is revealed to you that Karate, Mr. Karate, is none other than Ryo's dad. Takuma.
Which he has his move set exactly. Takuma. Like, okay, all right, sure.
But this kind of gets back where it's like kind of this back and forth thing because it's like Akuma didn't exist at this time. You know what I mean? So it's
okay.
and
fair
also
point.
if you want more back and forth, Dan from the Street Fighter series is Ryu and Robert combined together. Like, I mean, that is like a true fact. Like that has been admitted to. And it's like if you look at the character models for Ryo, like Dan has Ryo's body and he has Robert's head with the long like ponytail.
Yep.
And like the best thing about it is, and we'll get into this game has a spirit meter. And when it's all the way,
which I like that.
Yeah, I do too.
I think that is something Street Fighter could have benefited from.
Essentially, the way it works is if your spirit meter is empty, you're not able to use special moves, except for this game's version of the Hadoken, in which case the character does the Hadoken motion, but this like pitiful little flame comes out, and that's how Dan's Hadokens work.
Okay.
So I mean, it is like it's a clear reference to Art of Fighting, and I love it. I love that back and forth, man. So you like the spirit meter?
Because I feel like that would have been a good counterbalance to E Honda's 100-hand slap or somebody just having electrified Blanca, like measured out. It was supped from the special move cheese. Like I like that. That's one thing I really do. It made it more tactical, and you couldn't just spam specials. There had to be a little more mixing up with speed and punches and kicks. And because again, like that's just my personal preference. Because I don't love big, complicated move inputs and shit into games. Like I'll put it out there now. Like I like this game better than Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3.
Yeah,
on
of
iTunes.
course.
So I would be perfectly happy with this replacing Mortal Kombat 3 on IGN's Top 100.
Dude, okay, so
there aren't a lot of good fighting games on that Top 100 list. So I feel like if you want to include more fighting games, like it's not a bad one. It's no Street Fighter 2 at all.
No, it's not. But it's like I agree with you. I think Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 is. I mean, I'm sure we got into it on the Marriage Rapture episode that we recorded, but it's like I hated the addition of the run button in in Mortal Kombat 3. I didn't like the run button, and I didn't like the fact that it's a separate button that you press.
At least in Art of Fighting, you press forward twice to run.
You dash, and you can press back twice to dash backwards. Like that's the way to do it. And it's like also in Mortal Kombat 3, I felt like, man, that combo system is like so, I don't know, just felt ham-fisted. And I hated it because it's like, this is a franchise where it's like the first 2 games, like, yeah, you could like string a couple like special moves together, but it's like, I don't know, in Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, it felt like, no, this is a thing you have to do now. Like, in order to, like, be good at the game, you have to do this. And all of a sudden, it became, like, this combo-based game. And I didn't really like that. Art of Fighting is not a combo-based game. It's very much like everyone has their special moves, and a lot of the inputs are the same. And you use that spirit gauge. Every time you use a special move, the spirit gauge depletes a little bit.
Or if someone, I like the taunt. If someone taunts you, it drains your spirit gauge.
A Raz button. They call it in the instruction manual. A Raz button. You can, but it's kind of easy to game because it's like if you knock someone down, like when I would knock someone down, I would immediately press the Raz button where it's like, oh, I knocked you down and I'm going to sap your spirit.
Because that's where this game, I like that, so it gets you to not want to, because there's a spirit bar, you can't spam your special moves. Because your opponent can take away, there's motivation to use what you have. So it's a game very much based in speed.
Yeah.
And I like that a lot. But it also tends to make the speed characters a little more broken.
Yeah, for real. Like, Lee is one of the characters.
Lee is the fucking best character in this game.
Absolutely insane. Yep. Lee is insane because Lee is very fast. Lee is this like, also Lee is like the description of the character is amazing because Lee is like, imagine a smaller silver-haired Chinese dude with a monkey mask and claws.
I think he's Chun-Li meets Vega.
Yeah, totally. And it's like, that's a really good, it's a really good description. Even like his stage music is like, it's Chun-Li. Like, I mean, it sounds like Chun-Li's stage.
When you knock him down, you can see his panties. Like it's a very
right.
Chun-Li.
It's a whole big thing. And I mean, Art of Fighting did come out a year after the first Street Fighter 2 did. So I mean, it all makes sense. The only thing that is missing from like Lee's stage music is like chickens being slaughtered in the background. But Lee is like so fast and he's got a whole bunch of special moves on top of that. And it's like, what I discovered is like when you're going up against a fast character like Lee, like, or King, the bouncer at the casino restaurant, like that's where like taunting comes in like really heavy. Cause it's like, if you don't get their spirit down real fast, like they will just spam those moves over and over again.
And some of their moves, like, some of these moves are hard to pull off. So you kind of need you need to know what you're doing to be effective. It is a game where if you want to make full use of the spirit bar as fast as you can, because what is that one? The only one that I found was super effective was sort of like E Honda's 100-hand slap, where you charge somebody and you sort of hit them so fast they go upward.
They raise up.
Which is that's how Gohan defeats somebody in Dragon Ball Super. Using that move is what he does. Is
it fists or feet?
Fists.
Okay, because Ryo is he is a fist man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Robert is a foot man.
Yeah. But to each their own. Yeah.
Robert's my preferred guy because it's like I always,
Robert's a little faster, so I went with Robert.
And he's like, I don't know. I'm so used to like in fighting games, kicks having more reach. So it's like I want a character with more reach.
Yeah.
Even if there's a trade-off where it's like it's not as powerful, but I want that reach.
Yeah. Because even Robert moves awkwardly. Because, most people when they walk put one leg in front of the other. No, not Robert. Robert likes to, jump, just to move both his legs at the same time in order to get some places.
Did you notice his tap shoes?
No.
Yeah. It's like there were some interesting decisions being made with Robert's wardrobe. They're either tap shoes or I guess maybe Michael Jackson, the white on black shoes.
Yeah. Let's see. I know there's some kind of, because I never did this. I just was trying to do some research. That apparently there's a move you can do against King, a special move that will rip King's clothes off, revealing that King is a girl.
King's a woman.
Yeah.
They believe it or not, and it's gonna be hard to believe. But the Super Nintendo version censored that.
Ah, damn. Man, that's crazy.
Can't have no dirty pillows in our video games, please. There is a scene where it's like a lot of people mentioned this too, where it was like, okay, this is a big deal. Like I didn't even know this was a thing, but yeah, you're in the arcade version. Totally. If you defeat King, I think with a special move, like her shirt just like disintegrates, revealing her in a red bra.
They could have kept that. Like Sonya Blade didn't have much more than that on the Super Nintendo.
It is, yeah, but it's also kind of weird because it's like
it is sexual assault. So,
yes, that's what makes it. What's the popular phrase? Problematic nowadays.
What's the popular phrase? Rape?
Yeah. It is a little uncomfortable because it is like, you just like you blow her clothes off of her, essentially. And it's like, I don't know. This doesn't happen to any of the men. You know what I mean?
Yeah, why can't I blow? Jack just has a vest on.
You're right.
Why can't I blow that off?
Yeah, that shit don't move at all. To be fair, Jack is like a buff Chris Farley, so that like I don't think that vest ever comes off. I don't like I'm not a heavy man, and I have a hard time getting a vest off.
I put the vest on, then went to a buffet and never looked back. It's a part of me now.
But King is like, I'm glad you brought up King, because it's like the first time I fought King comes out looking like fucking Justin Timberlake. Like, I mean, like, with the fucking, like, Justin Timberlake circa.
Butler
like,
Timberlake, yeah.
Butler Timberlake. Like, Timberlake circa early 2000s, kind of, where he comes out with the fedora and shit. And
all
like,
denim, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, I really want to thank Phil Hawkins. Phil Hawkins tried very hard to get a blart of fighting thing going in the nation, and he's like, "Oh, I should have known better than to ask anybody to create something." So this flopped. How about something offensive about The Simpsons? You could just post that you find. That got some.
Yeah, it's traction there. Yeah, thanks Phil for that, because I totally stole your joke for the stream title. Blart of Fighting was the stream title.
I like that, and then what Bob Ross's art of painting, or Bob Ross's art of painting. That was also good that he did. Let's see. There are also, like, Street Fighter has its levels where, like, you beat up the cars and things like that, and the pile of bricks. I also like this better in Art of Fighting, because there are 3 different games, and winning them has a benefit as opposed to just like points.
Yeah, totally.
Which is very cool.
And one of them, I feel like Mortal Kombat ripped off.
Yeah. Because you've got the 3. The one to you can increase your max spirit by basically karate chopping the tops off of all these bottles. 5 bottles. Yep. You gotta karate chop all of them, or you don't get the spirit bonus. Then there's increase your strength by button tapping to break a bunch of ice blocks, which that's the Mortal Kombat ripoff.
Right.
And then the last one being where you do a special move 5 times in a row before the time is out, and you get that.
You unlock that special move. Yeah. Which is like a super Hadouken. Yep. It's like it's a half circle forward, and I was not able to do it. Like, I mean, it is crazy to me where it's like, I don't know if it's the controls of this game or if it's just I haven't used a D-pad.
They were clunky. They were like I had just doing like just an aerial kick was very difficult. Like the game, I really like this game, but the controls were a little clunkier than they needed to be.
I really like this game too. Like I spent more time on it because like I wanted to beat it. I wanted to beat it on the default difficulty, which did happen. Like thank God, finally it happened. Because it's like the default difficulty is really, it's no joke. I liked it a lot too. I liked it a lot more than I thought I was going to. On the last episode, I got really excited for this game because I mistakenly thought it was History of Fighters that we were going to be talking about. Which
Karnov returns to TADPOG.
Yeah, the Data East fighter, which the lawsuits were involved. But this was fine too. Yeah, this was great. I mean, this was like, honestly, this was like a breath of fresh air. After all, like the sports games, the flight sims and stuff like that. Like this was truly like,
it was nice.
Okay, this is kind of in my wheelhouse. And like, I'm going to be upfront, like that probably has a lot to do with why I liked it so much.
Because you're good at, you're good at fighters. That is I feel like that is one of your strengths.
I enjoy fighters. I'm not good at fighters, but I do enjoy fighters. I don't stick with a fighting game long enough to become good at it. Like that's the kind of my issue with fighting
You have that
games.
potential though. I think if you really dedicated yourself to a game, you could absolutely do that.
But fighting games are fun. I love fighting games because they are like, I don't know, man, like even like as a kid, I love fighting games because it's like you get this cast of characters and it's like they all like basically operate the same way, but they have different nuances to them. And it's like, I love that where it's like, okay. And I love like all the character design of all the characters. Like, I mean, that's honestly where I think like Street Fighter 2 like really shines because it's like they nail character design. It's like Blanca's like, he's a green dude with like red hair, like a red mohawk. And it's like, he's squat and he's like a monster essentially. And it's like, I remember seeing that as a kid and being like, he's in a fight. He's in this game. He's playable. This monster is playable. And it's, I'm a kid. I'm judging him from his outward appearance, not his spirit.
You'll learn. Yeah, of course. As a child, of course.
Right. But as I mature, I realize, oh yeah, I mean he's
Because I was just
he's
out
still a
thinking.
monster.
I was just out thinking if somebody asked me like off the top of your head right now, what are the Dave's top 3 video game genres he is skilled in? Off the top of my head, I would immediately say like fighting, Twitch style arcade games, and RPGs.
Yeah, okay, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good with that. And honestly, it's mainly because it's like, yeah, those are the games that I enjoy playing the most. RPGs less so now, just because there's so much of a
They're
huge
different now.
time
They're not-
investment. Yeah, and they are different now. Like totally. Yeah, they're because I mean like
The turn-based RPG has gone on the wayside in lieu of. That's why Bravely Default was like,
oh dude. Oh man,
felt
Bravely
so
Default. It did. Unfortunately, I never finished Bravely Second
I haven't even started it.
because it was
I
like
got it and haven't started it.
I started playing it and it was like, man, this is nice, but it's pretty much the same game. Like
Yeah.
I don't feel like they did enough with it.
Yeah.
Because it felt like the same engine was used, like the same mechanics.
The turnaround on that was very quick, so
Yeah.
I'm not surprised it was super similar.
Yeah.
But like that's what man, I love a good turn-based RPG.
Yeah.
I do, and there's just not enough of them anymore. Like that's relaxing that I can sit down and think. I'm not like the action RPG is taken over, and it's not as relaxing to me.
Yeah.
So it's not anything I can just go and just enjoy peacefully, like I can Earthbound or Chrono Trigger or Final Fantasy VI.
Yeah, I get it. I mean,
it
Final
just makes
Fantasy
me
VI.
sad.
I love Final Fantasy VI, but like Final Fantasy VI used to put me to sleep.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't mean that like in a disparaging way, but it was just like it would just put me to sleep. Like I would play it tired, I would play it like looking to go to sleep almost. You know what I mean? Where it's like, it's 11 o'clock. Let me play Final Fantasy until I pass out.
Let me
essentially.
please go through this ghost train with that nice
Right. Yeah.
piano music. Yeah.
So now we're talking about Final Fantasy VI. Now, how do you feel about Art of Fighting?
Still good.
Still good.
Still good.
All right.
Because like I've played some shitty fighters, and this is like it's an older fighting game, but I still like it. I'd still put it on the top 100 probably in place of Mortal Kombat.
Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3.
3, yes,
Yeah.
correct. Not above 2 or 1,
Man,
but
2,
above 3.
man, 2 is my jam.
Two's
dude.
pretty perfect.
2 is my jam. And it's what's also weird is like I don't follow a lot of fighting games, I guess, like current fighting games, but it's like, do fighting games like Mortal Kombat 2 even exist anymore? Where it's like, nope, there's no combo system.
Yeah, I can't think of.
No, it's pretty slow. No, you know what I mean? It's like, does that even exist anymore? It probably doesn't because
Can't
like,
think of anything. I mean, I don't even know how the current Mortal Kombat. I haven't played a Mortal Kombat like anything past probably Mortal Kombat 3. I've not played,
I haven't either.
and there are so many out there, and
I've heard 11's good. I've
Yeah.
heard the story is actually really good, and it's like, yeah, it's enjoyable. Like I've thought about picking it up, but it's like, I don't know, man. I've also got a whole bunch of shit that I need to play,
Yep.
and I've been out of Mortal Kombat for so fucking long that it's like, am I really gonna get back in?
Yeah.
8 games later, like.
Yeah.
And I hear people talking about the lore in Mortal Kombat 11, and it is just like blood is starting to like trickle from my ears because it's like, wait, there's time travel.
Like I time travel immediately. Like okay, well I won't get into that.
No,
Won't get into
please,
that.
no, please get into
Well,
it.
it's still
Time travel.
spoilers for in game that I still won't touch. I'll still
okay, yeah,
hold
let's
it
not do
off.
that.
But again, like any fighter that is not special move reliant, I am a fan of. So this wasn't so much they're in there, but it's so fast paced that you don't have to use them, and you're still perfectly relevant.
Yeah.
that I like about it.
And you
That
can
I'm
rob
very
your
into.
opponent of the ability to use special moves.
Yep,
It's
I like
risky
that.
because I mean, like if you do it while
It's
they're
so fast, yeah, that if you take that second, you're gonna get hit.
right,
You have
yeah,
to run the fuck to the other side and hope. Yeah, so it's also strategy behind it. So I'm
and you can also charge your spirit if you hold down
Mm-hmm.
punch or kick. So it's like Mr. Karate, for example. Like I would taunt him because like he's got all the moves of Ryo, but they're stronger
Mm-hmm.
essentially. And it's like I would taunt him because I don't want him using those special moves. Because like the special move you're talking about, where it's like E Honda's slap.
Mm-hmm.
If he gets you in a corner, he will do that relentlessly. Like, I mean, it is like the AI is programmed where it's like, got him. And they just do it over and over again. And it's like, you can block it technically, but it is hard to like time between like you getting hit 1,000 times and then the next time you're hit 1,000 times. But it's like, man, I would taunt him until he was drained. And then, like, when he charges, like, that fucking spirit meter just goes like real fast.
Okay.
And that is, like, terrifying because it's like, I mean, it happened so fast. And it's just like, well, here I am again.
Damn you, Terry Bogart's grandfather. Damn you.
No, okay, so spoilers. Takuma is the guy who killed Terry Bogard's adopted father.
Oh. Okay.
So, like, when you beat the game, and what's interesting is if you beat the game in the arcade, you get an ending, like, the game ends on a cliffhanger. Like, Yuri comes out, and she's like, stop, he's our ... to be continued. But in the Super Nintendo version, the same thing happens. You're whooping Karate's ass, and Yuri comes out, and she's like, stop, he's our father. And it's like, Ryu's like, what? And then it's all revealed that, like Karate takes his mask off, and he's Takuma, and he's like, his reasoning is like, they forgive their dad real fucking fast because he like takes the mask off and he's like leaning up against the wall with his arms crossed, and he's like, I came out here looking for revenge, and I fell into a bad crowd and built up a gambling debt and started working for Howard Geese. And Howard Geese is,
He's in a lot of games. Yeah.
He's the big bad, essentially, in Fatal Fury. And Howard's just like, hey, man, kill Terry's dad. And Takuma's like, okay.
I guess I owe you some money, so yeah.
So I guess I got to do it.
That's how blackjack works.
A deal's a deal, right? So, like, that whole thing, like, just plays out, and it's one of those where it's like, it is very weird because they are like, you're our dad. Yay, we found our dad. And they don't really even like, well, let's just forget about this man that you murdered. But it is cool because it's like, it's a nice way to like tie the games together. And I think it's really neat. And speaking of Fatal Fury, sorry, I am talking a shitload. And it's
dude.
because I really
Like
enjoyed this game. I actually prefer this game like over Fatal Fury, which is blasphemy for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But it's like Fatal Fury to me, those like planes of engagement in the background, that is, I do not like that. Like, I mean, it's a cool idea, but it's like, I don't know, in practice, I'm so used to the Street Fighter style where it's like, no, man, you don't move into the background and foreground. You just, you're on a plane, and that's like, you know, that's how Art of Fighting is. It's very much like more like Street Fighter than Fatal Fury is.
Yeah, I can see that.
Did you have any other? Did you have a favorite character?
I only played through this as Robert Garcia. Then I was like, okay, I know enough about this. I like this because you only had the option of your first playthrough of either Rio or Robert.
Yeah, story mode, they limit you to one of the two boys, Punch Boy or Kick Boy, as I like to call them. But you can play in one player versus computer mode or one player versus two player, and they open up the roster, and you can play as whoever you want, which is really nice because it's like some of these characters are like we talked about. Lee is absolutely out of hand. Monkey Man, he is out of hand. You can play as Mr. Big. And Mr. Big is like this dude who wears these Oakleys. He is giant, and he uses these. They look like two paper towel rolls.
So much.
I don't know what the name for them actually is, but they also will like. He can use them. Not only will he hit you with them, but there's a special move he can use with these sticks, with these paper towel rolls, that not only hurt you physically, but they'll drain spirit as well. And it's like he's so big that like his reach
really
is
far.
crazy.
Yeah.
And it's almost like he's the dude he's the second to last person you fight, and it feels like that fighting game trope where it's like he is the Goro of this game. You know, he's like Mr. Karate is tough, but I feel like Mr. Big is much tougher.
Yeah.
Much bigger.
Because he's very big.
Very big.
Mr. Big. Because of course, we were talking about, I was like, oh yeah, Mr. Big, this is who Carrie Bradshaw marries in Sex and the City. Perfect.
Right.
This is what he did, this is how he made his fortune. Then he grew his hair back out, put it on the paper towel rolls, bought a limo, and would just sort of occasionally intervene into Carrie Bradshaw's life outside her apartment for no reason.
He'd occasionally kill a guy.
I mean, I would have thought that. Yeah,
Dude.
yeah.
Can I tell you how much? Like, I didn't love Sex in the City. I didn't watch a whole bunch of it. But take Sex in the City and like throw in fighting game characters, and it's like now I'm on board.
Yeah.
And they can be the same. It can be the same stuff, but like every 5 minutes there's a fight.
Okay, who are the 4 Sex in the City characters that we recast with fighting game characters?
Okay, well you'll have to name the characters.
Okay, well, first one is the Sarah Jessica Parker's Carrie Bradshaw.
What are we basing it on? Looks? Or are we basing it on personality? Or what? Like what? How we think they would fight?
Yeah, or who just is entertaining in that main role as the writer, center character.
Okay.
Kind of.
I mean, Cammy comes to mind. But it's
Cammy?
just because she's blonde. Like, I
Okay.
feel like that's a bad reason.
Well, see, I don't know. Cammy might be a good Samantha, which is Kim Cattrall's,
Right.
like, basically the slutty one.
Right. Yeah, okay. I'm down with that. Okay, so Cammy's Kimmy.
Let's see. Then we've got, so Carrie, Charlotte, and then Miranda.
Charlotte's the absolute cutest one, right?
Yep.
Man.
Yep, absolutely.
Phew, man. It's tough because it's going to be all Street Fighter characters for me. Because it's like, I'm like, I don't know, Chun-Li.
I feel like Chun-Li would make it an all right Charlotte. I'm down for that. And I feel like Miranda, who is the redhead, has got to be Blanca.
No love for Miranda? Or is she from Brazil?
I didn't like Miranda until much later in the series. She is redheaded and the headstrong one, the determined one.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, Blanca. All right.
You remember that episode where they pulled Miranda out of the Amazon River and she was clutching 2 electric eels that she claimed were her family?
She fucked Jim Gaffigan for a while and then dumped him because he took a shit with the door open.
You remember when she bit that guy with the glasses? You remember when she latched on him and bit his head?
Remember that guy who broke up with Carrie? So then Miranda electrocuted him with her body.
I figured out Carrie.
Okay.
Sagat.
Okay. I like it. It's got the eye patch. Just trying to make it in New York, trying to
Yeah.
find love.
Yeah.
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 It's good. That's good.
Murdered a bunch of dudes.
Instead of all the people that they slept with, the Street Fighter characters are all the people that they've murdered. How many people have
Yeah.
you killed? I don't know if I want to tell you my number. That's private.
Do you think there's someone out there who definitely has the Sagat scar like tattooed on them, right?
Oh, I hope so.
Like
Yeah.
absolutely someone has that, yeah?
I hope so.
and the eye patch tattooed on.
And shaves their entire body
Yeah.
and wears hand wraps and
Yeah.
and basketball shorts.
Yeah, oiled all the time. This is my life. I've decided that I am Sagat.
Yeah. Just walk around mumbling about killing Ryu. One thing is, though, the Genesis version of the Art of Fighting, I feel like looks much better than the Super Nintendo version. Because I did watch it like a side-by-side comparison. And, okay, the sound is not as good, of course, as Genesis, but it looks like it runs smoother and looks graphically better, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think it looks better too.
It doesn't do, you showed me, I didn't even think about it. It does like, Super Nintendo is like the port of the arcade where it does this zoom in thing whenever
Yeah.
you get close to fight. I don't like that very much. Genesis doesn't have that.
Yeah.
I like being able to back up and see, and even am I close, I see where I can retreat to. I don't like the zoom in at all.
It's not crazy drastic on the Super Nintendo. Like in the arcade,
It's very
like
drastic.
when 2 fighters are close to each other, like the camera zooms in and they're like right up on the screen, and as they space out, it's kind of like, honestly, like it's kind of like in Smash Brothers, you know, where it's like you got a whole bunch of people on the map and they're in different corners. It's way
it's the
zoomed
all
out.
of Hyrule Castle. Yeah.
It's kind of like that, but you know, on a much smaller, more primitive scale.
Yeah.
It didn't bother me. In fact, I can see why it bothers people, because it's like when I was streaming this, a few people pointed it out, and I was like, oh, I didn't even know that was going on, because I'm so like, I just focused on like looking at the opponent, you know, like trying to figure out what the opponent's going to do, kind of deal. But I would have noticed in the arcade, because it is very overdone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
no,
like,
absolutely.
Some people were saying like, this game makes me motion sick. And it's like, I can see that.
Yep.
Because it's constantly like zooming in, zooming out
Mm-hmm.
if you're, you know, moving in and out of the fight.
Yeah. You told me about the exploit that there is in this game.
Yeah, Zalnot found this for me because I was struggling on the default difficulty, trying to get through to get the end. Apparently if you kick the opponent in the knees, the AI does not know whether to block high or low. So like if you get it like right on, you can because
I saw, if I just duck and kick and they just like, they'll get kind of close and then sometimes I can hit them. They can't really guard against it. They won't jump and attack me. They just sort of stand there.
Yeah, well, it's not really, honestly, it's not really even that. It's like these tiny jump kicks where you're like trying to hit your foot like right on their knee. Like not the shin, not the thigh, the knee. You're going for the knee.
Okay.
And what's great is Big Dick Pie Baker Chris Vaughn, he posted on, I think it was in Discord, I can't remember, that he played the second one, the Art of Fighting 2, and it's like he said that they overcompensated for that because he's like every time he's going for the knee, it's like blocked and then like severely punished.
They're all wearing giant knee pads.
Right, yeah.
Like
exactly.
World of Warcraft shoulder pads, but on their knees.
But on their knees,
every
totally.
character.
Yeah,
You do that, they regain health, and then you lose the equal amount.
They're all Major League Baseball catchers, essentially. I would play, speaking of Art of Fighting 2, after playing this, I would totally play the second game. I mean, I would check it out. I'm more interested in it than I am, like I said earlier, the Fatal Fury series, because this is more straightforward.
Yeah.
And I'm also kind of curious what they do with the spirit system in the later games. Yeah.
Well, that's all I got. You got anything else?
I do want to talk about Mickey, some of the characters that we haven't talked about yet. I specifically want to talk about Mickey because
Mickey Rourke, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, you are not the only person to have made that comment. Like several people are like, is he based on Mickey Rourke? He's supposed to be, Mickey in this game is supposed to be Jamaican. Yeah.
He looks like Mickey Rourke.
How old is Mickey Rourke?
Like 200. He is 200, but his messed up plastic surgery is like 20.
Oh, dude.
Supposedly, back in the day, he was a really attractive guy, and he had some very botched plastic surgery.
You're going to laugh at me.
Probably not. But
What did Mickey Rourke do?
I had never heard of Mickey Rourke until he was in The Wrestler and then Iron Man 2.
Okay.
So beyond that, I don't fucking know.
Okay, all right, good. Great. I mean, I don't know either. I could look it up, but I'm not going to because it's like, I know he's an actor, but it's like, was he always an actor or was...
Yeah, I don't know.
Like what? I guess the reason I ask is because like, what happened?
But you know who would know? The boys from the Experience Grind podcast.
Yeah, they would
Since
know.
now we're talking about movies, we can plug them real quick.
They totally would know. Yeah, I just recently recorded an episode with them, which is coming out on Friday. It's on Bone Tomahawk, a movie that I love. It's a Western movie with Kurt Russell. It's part of WrestleFest. And I found out about this movie through their podcast early on. And when they were talking about it, they didn't go into detail, but they talked about it being horrific, a Western, and having Kurt Russell in it. And I was like, okay, this checks 3 boxes. I'm going to watch this movie. And I did, and I loved it. And then when we were at TADPOG prom, Kyle was like, hey, man, we want to get you on. Oh, I want to do a WrestleFest. I was like, oh, okay, that's great. He's like, what movie do you want to talk about? I was like, Bone Tomahawk, for sure, because I watched that movie because of you guys, because of your show. So that should be coming out on Friday. And then I also recorded one of their Patreon bonus episodes with them, talking about the King of the Hill episode, The Arrowhead. And I don't want to spoil my feelings about that. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I'm really glad they had me on.
Yeah.
So definitely check it out if you get a chance.
So yeah, Experience Grind with Ryan and Ethel James.
Who?
Ethel James.
Who?
That is what I call Mr. Collins now. Because I have a deep and abiding love and affection for Mr. Collins. But he's come under... I mean, I have to protect him. He's an endangered species now.
Right, yeah.
Because everyone is hunting Kyles now.
Yeah.
Like, I did reach out to him and I was like, are you okay, man? Well, because there's so much Kyle and Monster energy drink hate going on that I was just like, what's your middle name? He was like, I've got 2, Ethel James. Boom, you are Ethel James to me. Thank you.
Perfect.
Ethel James Collins and Ryan.
Okay, so here's my take on the whole like Kyle Monster energy drink meme thing that's going around. I mean, I like Monster Energy drink.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it's kind of one of those where it's like,
You drink more Monster than all the Kyles we know put together.
yeah,
I'm sure.
yeah, absolutely. And it's kind of one of those where it's like, my name's not Kyle, but I'm fucking offended. It's like, I get it. This is a douchey drink, but it's fucking tasty. And the only reason it's like,
I think you started drinking it sort of ironically when I
Totally.
got him one time.
Yeah.
I was like, it's pretty good.
no, it's pretty good. Yeah, it is. And it's like, I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like, I've had conversations with people where it's like, people have gone out of their way to be like, Monster Energy drink, huh? And it's like, it's fucking good. I like it. Fuck off. You know? And you wonder why I don't want to go to the park alone, you know?
Yeah, it's true. I like to go to a park alone and drink a Monster Energy drink and invite the conversations.
Yeah, people are just walking by. I'm screaming at them. I'm looking at the ducks. Fuck you. Big drink.
But in a park with just kids.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The ducks will be here.
Don't worry.
These fucking kids are scared off the ducks. If I wait long enough, the ducks show up. It's gonna take a while, so I stay awake with this Monster Energy drink.
I'm just singing the DuckTales theme. That's how you summon the ducks. Yeah, look, man. Every time I see one of those posts, my name's not Kyle, and I feel attacked because it's like, I mean, look, dude, I'm still gonna drink Monster Energy drink. Like, this ain't gonna fucking stop me.
Yep.
This is like, I've gone from like, man, you want to go on a little energy drink journey with me?
Oh, let's go.
Red Bull started it all for me. It's Red Bull. It's like, man, this is nice. I still like to mix alcohol with Red Bull, Jaeger particularly. It's great. It's wonderful stuff. Then moved on to the Rockstar.
Oh man, I drink some Rockstar juice with you a lot back in the day.
Drank so much of that. And then you introduced me to Monster Energy drink, and it's like, oh, these are the best.
And they're
Shit.
a lot cheaper than the other two.
And they're super cheap. I could get 2 for
Yep.
$4. And it's
Yep.
like, all right, this is it.
As opposed to one Red Bull half this size for $5.
Right, exactly. And it's like, it's kind of one of those things where it's like, I don't drink energy drinks to be fashionable. Like, I drink energy drinks because it's like, for 2 reasons. And people don't believe me when I say this. I like the way they taste. Like, I really do. Like, they taste like sweet tarts, and I like sweet tarts. And it's like, so I like that. And I also
They taste like sin, and I grew up Catholic,
Right.
So it's delicious.
yeah, it's the best. Trust me, I love the way sin tastes. I mean, I'm doing this show. I love the way sin tastes. But it's like, also, it's like I am over caffeinated. Like, at any given moment, it's like, because I stay up super late. Like, I go to bed at 2 a.m. I wake up at 6:30 or whatever, and it's like, yeah, I need it. I need that caffeine.
What am I gonna do? Change my lifestyle?
No,
Fuck off.
fuck that. I got ducks to
Monster
look at.
Energy.
Yeah, that should be Monster Energy's slogan.
What am I gonna do? Change my lifestyle?
Fuck you. I got Art of Fighting I got to play for 4 hours.
Fuck you! Gonna play old video games.
Look, man. Hey, look. That's another thing. It's like, hey, I like it. Just like I'm like Monster Energy drink. But it's like the thing about Monster that's like insane is like it's not the energy drink. It's the culture. It's like, how has a culture like sprouted up around an energy drink? Like, dude, it's like
All the tattoos and shit that
it's
people
like
get.
it's weird because it's like drug culture almost, because it's like you can compare Monster Energy drink, like the tattoos and like the passion. It's really the passion behind Monster Energy drink to like the same passion that's behind like a lot of the marijuana culture, where it's, I mean, it's like no one's trying to legalize Monster Energy drink, but they will in 10 years when they're going to be outlawed. Maybe that's it. Maybe people are just getting ahead of it.
I like how I could eat. It would be fun to take out all your Monster Energy talk, that monologue, take out Monster Energy, and just replace alcohol and alcoholism. Like, no, it's just like, you know.
No, I just like the way it tastes, and I need it.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I like being drunk. Don't get me wrong, but I drink it because I like it too. At any point, I am drunk, but I've got shit to do and it's hard, so I need to get drunk.
I mean, look, you're making a good argument. This all checks out. But yeah, so yeah, a long way to say it. Definitely check out this Friday's episode of Experience Grind. Inexperienced Grind in general. And Experience Grind in general, I should say, because it sounded like I said Inexperienced Grind, which is a parody show of Experience Grind. But yeah, the whole of this came about because I wanted to talk about a character in this game, Mickey.
Yep, Mickey Rourke.
Who's supposed to be Jamaican, but he's not. The main reason I want to bring him up is because like he's a boxer, right? So he's pretty much Balrog essentially. But this game doesn't have like charge moves in it, so he doesn't have all those rushes and stuff that Balrog does. So it's like, but he does have crazy, insane reach with his punches. Like this dude could crouch, and his crouching punch is longer than my sweep. Like his arm is longer than Rio's leg, and it's like. I had so much trouble with him because it's like I try to beat like in a fighting game. The way I like to play fighting games is first of all spam specials, like for sure, and then also is like stay in that range where it's like I can't be hit, but I can barely hit them. Like stay in that range. Like that's the game I like to play, where it's like just slowly chip away, stay in the safe range, and bait them forward, and then like just do little bits and pieces of damage. And that's because I don't like comboing. I can't do it. But anyway, like Mickey, he was like absolutely. Mick was just like totally annoying because I couldn't do that to him. And his taunt, like he's got this thing where he's super tall and he like. Puts his arms back behind. He like McJaggers it. Like he like does like the rooster pose.
Pulls his lips out.
Yeah. Well, he opens his mouth, sticks out his tongue, and just shakes his head back and forth. I can see where that's very
much okay. And that is absolutely a Mick Jagger thing.
And
right.
It's like this motherfucker right here. And it's like there are a few taunts in the game where it like actually has a psychological effect, and that is one of them. Where it's like, you son of a bitch, all you do is the thing that I like to do, which is stay barely out of range and hit me, and then you have that taunt. Fuck you. But Jack, the buff Chris Farley, his taunt is also equally annoying, almost as annoying, I should say, where he just blows a huge bubble of bubble gum. He's the leader of the Black Cats. It's a gang that doesn't hurt women or children.
It's pretty good.
They have a code.
I like that. It's good.
I wanted to bring up Mickey too because like the instruction manual for this game is amazing. It is amazing. I love it. And I say that both with sincerity and irony because it's like I love instruction manuals that have like illustrations. And it's like this instruction manual has the display. It lists all the fighters and it shows you their moves. And well, with those moves are illustrations that show you like what this move looks like. Which is amazing. That's like great design because it's like I remember being a kid and I remember like reading strategy guides for like, okay, Mortal Kombat 2. I'm going to learn all the moves because I want to be the best Shang Tsung character in the world. And in order to do that, I got to learn all the moves in the game. So at any moment I can be like, all right, I got a plan. I got a solution for a problem. So like, and like I remember going over strategy guides and being like, okay, this is the input. And then like the character would do something and I'd be like, but wait, was that the right move? Because it's like, it doesn't, I don't know. Like, like was the acid spray supposed to happen? But like in the instruction manual, they have like a little illustration of like how everything's supposed to look when you input it. And that's really nice.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, I say it ironically because there is some really fucking funny stuff in his game. Because it is like when they talk about Mickey, the Jamaican punching dude, like their description of him is this. Currently, he too stalks Southtown. That's where all this takes place, Southtown, searching for victims on which to vent his frustrations and the ghost of Bob Marley. What? Like, first of all,
is he extracting revenge on Bob Marley?
Right.
Or he's just like, I'm going to beat some ass or I'm going to find a cool ghost.
Right.
Whichever comes first, motherfucker.
Is that weed code? The ghost of Bob Marley?
The ghost of...
like when you walk into a room, it's like, God damn, it smells like the ghost of Bob Marley in here.
Okay.
So I don't know if they were trying to sneak I don't know.
Drug aficionados, let us know.
Yeah, please.
Is that a weed?
Yeah.
Is that a weed?
If not, is it a Weedle? Can we inject it?
Is it a bee drill?
There's also a few other characters that we didn't talk about because they're boring. Toto.
He's got armor on.
Toto
He's
is
the guy who's like, I don't know where she is after you beat him up.
He's the first guy you fight. He says a weird thing where he's like, find her with your power or something like that. And it's like, okay, I don't think.
I would like Toto infinitely more if his name was just Todd.
Todd.
I think like the samurai wearing armor doesn't know anything. Well, I'm gonna go fucking beat Todd's ass. See what he knows.
See what I can fish out of him. And another thing I love about this instruction manual, this is a little nugget. I love it. Toto has like one special move, and it is like he does a Hadoken motion, but instead of a fireball coming out, it's like panes of glass come out. It's weird because it's like these like 3 or 4 like.
It looks like a samurai ability in Final Fantasy Tactics. Like if you would use a sword and it would.
Yeah. I didn't even think about that. You're right. You want to take a guess on what that's called?
Glass katana.
Layer of lumps.
All right.
Layer of lumps. There's also, we talked about Jack quite a bit. John, we haven't talked about, who is 100% not Guile.
God, yeah, John sucks. John really fucking sucks.
Dude, he is like...
He's Top Gun, more Top Gun Guile. He is, if Guile is Maverick, then John is Iceman.
Yeah, yeah, totally. And it's like, totally inspirations pulled from like both Guile and John from Top Gun, like for sure. But John is like, he is tough, man, because like his projectile is fast. It is fast and it does not take a lot of spirit. So like he is one where I was fighting and it was like every time I knocked him down, I'm spamming the taunt button to like try to drain his spirit because like he would just get up and then just fucking.
Hey, yeah, you can't drain that American spirit, man. So there you go.
It's true. It's true. And I think that's it. I think that's all. I think that's all the characters in the game. I could honestly, dude, I could talk about this game for a really long time. Yeah. There's voice modulation in the game, which I think is very well done. Like when when Karate defeats you, he says like a full sentence, and it's like this is an early game. This was ported for the SNES.
We cut 3 characters so I could say this.
and they didn't
Congratulations.
They didn't even do that. You know what I mean? It's like there's so much in this game where it's like, wow, the sound in this is like the sound is really really good because like he says, I think he says you must first master the arts of Haoken in order to defeat me, and it's like a long fucking sentence, and it's like you can tell what he's saying, and it's like this is impressive. Right. Yeah, it's not like when you're actually in a fight and they're doing the like what was it with Chun-Li you thought she said? Ting Tong kick. Yeah. It's not like that. There's also like when you choose characters in the one player versus computer mode, like they say the names of each of the characters, and it's like it's very well done. I was really really impressed, especially for like 1993. I thought it was really worth mentioning.
Yeah. Do you have any achievements?
I have a few. These came in from Twitch chat. The first one I've got comes from Zal, and that achievement is the joy of unplugging. And in order to unlock the joy of unplugging, you need to turn off Art of Fighting and turn on the joy of painting, which is also a rich Twitch tradition.
Oh, yeah.
I have Bob Ross on there quite a bit.
Yeah, Artsy AJ loves Bob Ross. Her last birthday was all Bob Ross stuff. We had her they said they couldn't do it, and then I talked to the right person at the cookie company, so they made her a Bob Ross cake, which
That's
is very
awesome.
nice. Mm-hmm. We had Bob Ross plates and Bob Ross hats and streamers, and
it's weird to me that like Bob Ross is like such a sensation now. You know, like I get it. I understand why, but it's kind of one of those things where it's like, oh, I hope this is wholesome. You know what I mean? Because it's like, I remember watching Bob Ross with my Grammy, and it's like, I'll always have that memory because she liked to watch it, and I liked art, you know? So it was like, we would watch it, and it's like, it would inspire me to be like, yeah, I want to paint something now. And then like, she'd get paints for me, and it's like, so like, there's all of this where it's like, Bob Ross is like, mwah, love Bob Ross.
Because she loves, like, every time she watches the episode, she'll still laugh about beating the devil out of it when he cleans his paintbrushes.
Yes.
She fucking loves it.
Yeah. But I worry because it's like, how much of this Bob Ross love is genuine and how much of it is...
I think there's plenty of it, but for her, I think it's genuine enjoyment.
Sure,
she watches it when she goes to bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I feel like there's a crowd.
There's a hipster crowd.
Right, yeah, exactly. I've got a second achievement. This comes from Drew and or Bailey of Hops and Heroes, and this achievement is Fart of Eating.
So definitely Bailey.
In order to unlock Fart of Eating, eat some Taco Bell before watching Dave stream this on Twitch.
Nice.
I got to get to Taco Bell.
You?
I do. And the reason is I was watching Ben of Street Pizza stream Mario Kart Sunday night, and he turned because he was drinking rum and Baja Blast, and he recommended it highly. I've never had Baja Blast, but I hear you can like only get it at Taco Bell.
Yep.
Is that right?
For a short time, they did have it in like cans and stuff, but generally it's only at Taco Bell.
See, I want it in cans so I can keep it in the fridge. So anytime I want a rum and Baja Blast, I don't have to drive to a Taco Bell. Yeah. But like now, like since he mentioned that, like I have been like itching where it's like, dude, I got to get some Malibu rum and I got to get some Baja Blast because like those two together is going to be
you're right. I think that'd be pretty good.
It sounds like it'll be amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, Baja's in the name. I've never had it, but I don't know.
I've had it. I bought the 12-pack of Mountain Dew whenever that came out. And I was like, it's pretty good.
My biggest fear is the fact that I haven't had like a full flavored soda in a long ass time. And I don't know if they have Diet Baja Blast. They might.
I don't think they do.
They might laugh me out of that Taco Bell. And like, do you have Diet Baja Blast?
Well, do you have Diet Mountain Dew and you just like put some Baja powder in it? That'd be great. Thank you.
Baja Powder is the name of my new ska band. Third achievement I've got, this comes from Kana, and that is Victoria's Secret. In order to unlock Victoria's Secret, you need to beat King with a super move to reveal her in a bra.
Oh.
And that's also reminds me of something that's cool about this game is not the sexual assault, but it is the fact that the fighters' portraits will change depending on how you defeated them. Like if you defeat them with a throw or a punch or a kick, you see a portrait of them defeated. But if you beat them with a special move, they're fucked up. You know, like there's different degrees of like how damaged they
cool.
are.
Okay.
So I think
I didn't know that.
it's a nice touch. And then that's pretty much all I got. Do you have any achievements for this game?
I do. I've got 4. My first one is he hates these cans. And you unlock he hates these cans by when you do the bonus move, you pick breaking the bottles all 3 times.
Oh, man. Okay. Oh, hey, more tales of Nintendo censorship. In the arcade game, those are beer bottles.
There's soda bottles in the...
And the instruction manual, it makes sure to let you know that these are soda bottles.
Let's see. Because do you like The Jerk? Have you ever seen The Jerk?
I have not seen... Oh, no, yeah, I've seen The Jerk. It's been a really, really long time.
Love that movie. So if Experience Guide wants us both on that, I don't know. I don't know if they've done it before or not. But, let's see. And then I had Sexual Assault, and you unlock Sexual Assault by donking off King's clothes. Not So Johnny Karate. You unlock that by unmasking karate.
All right. Yeah, he's wearing this... I don't even know if we mentioned he's wearing this Tengu mask.
Yep. And then, but I got no dukes.
I got fucking no dukes.
And you unlock that by finishing every fight having taunted the enemy's spirit bar to nothing.
Nice. Oh, fuck, I love it. Get back inside, old man. You've got a long day of drinking and beating the fuck out of me tomorrow. Yeah, I was going to say you name an Adam Sandler thing, and I've got an answer, but that's not true.
There's so much Adam Sandler shit now on Netflix.
I heard his comedy special is good.
It is good.
Yeah.
God, at the end, he does this tribute to Chris Farley that's funny and touching, and he did it again to close SNL when he hosted SNL
I heard
season.
about that.
That was him and Chris Rock talking about like getting fired.
You really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I love hearing Norm Macdonald talk about getting fired.
God, Norm Macdonald's so good.
Tyler.
Yes, Dave.
I have some questions for you.
Oh, yeah. Give it. Bring it on.
If you were to give this game a beard that sums up how you feel about it, what kind of beard would it be?
I would give this the should be there Guy Fieri goatee of the character Dan from Street Fighter.
My favorite Street Fighter character.
Yeah. Just because it's all very borrowing and plagiarizing.
Yeah, totally. I was never a big SNK guy growing up.
Not at all.
And because of that, it's one of the reasons like when you say things like, "Yeah, you're good at fighting games," I back up off of that because it's like I didn't have a full fighting game experience growing up.
You're good at the fighting games you're good at.
Yeah, all right, that's fair. Yeah, that is fair to say. But I mean, like, so many people who like are into fighting games, like they are into the whole breadth of it. You know, they played it all. And it's like, I am not that guy. But what's great is because of that, like I can find something like this and be like, okay, this was enjoyable.
If nothing else, TADPOG's been educational to our gaming sphere, our sphere of gaming knowledge and experience.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, it's been an academic endeavor for sure.
Yeah.
Tyler.
Yes, Dave.
If you were to give this game a pair of glasses that sums up how you feel about it, what kind of glasses would you give it?
I would give this the glasses of Dr. Bosconovich from the Tekken series.
Oh, who is he?
Dr. Bosconovich. It's kind of a joke character I first came across in Tekken 3, where you unlock Dr. Bosconovich, who I think like created Yoshimitsu and some other characters, and he can't stand up. He only lays flat on the ground and will roll around and kick. Because like he and Gon were the secret characters of Tekken 3.
And who was Gon?
Gon was the tiny orange T-Rex.
Oh, okay, right, okay. I don't know that I ever played Tekken 3. Tekken Tag was the big one that I played.
Yeah, I think maybe I'm thinking Tekken Tag instead of Tekken 3. But the big one that I loved and poured hours and hours into was Tekken Tag. Mostly Tekken Ball.
Tekken Ball, yeah, totally. Yeah.
God, Brennan and I would play that days on end.
Yeah.
Him as Law and me as Brian. Fuck, we'd played all night long.
All night long. All night. All night. I'm just gonna do this for the rest of the show. You good with that?
We keep going for like another 5 minutes. It'll be perfect.
Do you give it Dr. Bosconovich because the controls in this game are
controls?
Weird?
That's good. We'll go with that. Kind of janky controls, like you're laying down all the time. I was just kind of using like all the sort of the jokiness that I feel like they take from Street Fighter.
Dude, the controls in this game are fucking bananas.
They don't flow well.
They are bananas.
If Street Fighter flows like water, this game flows like ice.
This is how it works. It's a 4-button game. And to be fair, I was told that the arcade version is also 4 buttons.
Okay.
But like in Street Fighter 2, you have light punch, punch, and heavy punch. So how do you do all those different moves with 4 buttons?
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you how you do those. If you want to do a heavy punch, you press the X button, then the R button. But if you want to do a weak punch, you press the X button and the R button at the same time. So what that translates to is, I'm just going to use regular punch, okay?
Yep.
Like, I am never going to use any of these fucking other ones ever, 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 ever.
I would rather it just be like the heavy punch is you press X after you dash. Because that would make sense of you rushing to do a heavier punch.
Get some momentum or something like that. Yeah. Yeah. No, that's like, that was one like right off the bat that was like, oh, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. And it's like, I guess they wanted to keep it true to the arcade instead of mapping like the attack buttons like they did in Street Fighter 2. Or maybe they were worried where it's like, well, if we map them all that way, what are we going to do with the taunt button? But I mean, you could do select or something, man. You know what I mean? It's like, I feel like it kind of like they had an opportunity to improve the game in the port and they didn't do it.
Because what's that one song? Like I push my seed in your bush for life. That
sounds hot though, man.
I think it's Jacob introduced it to me. It's a great song, and it's cool. It's cool in the fact like
I push my seed into your bush for life.
Yeah. I can't remember the name of the artist. I mean, it's fairly popular, but he recorded it as if to make it sound like it came through these particular set of headphones he had as a kid, which is a cool concept, but it also makes the sound, it doesn't sound very good. Yeah. So it's like, oh, for the sake of coolness, we're going to do this. But I mean, they end up re-releasing it later in like full, like remastered sound good glory. and it's great. But that SNK, it's just like sometimes it's a better decision not to stick to shit like that when you can just
Right.
make it better.
Yeah.
So,
All right. How old is that song?
I remember him telling me about it a long fucking time ago.
Oh,
like
yeah.
we were both going to Murray.
I
So it
missed.
was a long time ago.
That is a long.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's one of those where I hear it, I'll be like, oh, okay, that one.
It is. It
Okay.
absolutely is. Well, we talk about, we got shirts. Do you
We
want to,
do.
or do you have anything else to talk about?
Yes.
Okay.
I've got a question for you.
Yes.
Tyler,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
how much do you think this game is? If you were to buy it loose right now, how much do you think it would be?
I bet not a whole lot. I'd say like $7.85.
Tyler, actual retail value of Art of Fighting for the Super Nintendo loose on pricecharting.com at the time of this recording is $6.31.
All
You
right.
were very
Pretty
close.
Pretty close.
Is it worth it?
Yeah, if you're a fighting game fan, yes.
Yeah, I'm actually thinking about buying it.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because it's like I'm not gonna play it, but like, it's weird because it's
Just have
like
it for
yeah,
just have it on your shelf. It's
Yeah,
nice.
just kind of want it.
Yeah.
You know. You want to take a guess how much it is new?
$85.
$58.12.
It's not crazy.
It's not crazy.
not crazy.
So people really didn't like this game
Yeah.
because it's like I don't know how many were produced, but I don't feel like. I mean,
I've never seen it in the wild.
I've never seen it either.
So.
I had never heard of it really.
I might have seen it for rent at like Movie Hut back in the day. It seems vaguely familiar, but beyond that, like I don't remember ever seeing it for sale. I remember seeing it slip at Toys R Us where I could buy it. I remember being advertised.
Yeah, and when you're a kid and you're renting a game and you want a fighting game, you stick with the shit you know because you don't want to be stuck with a shitty fighting game for a weekend.
Yep.
Because that is the worst feeling when you Friday, you get home from school, you pop it in, and you're like, within 5 minutes, it's like, shit.
Well, that's how it was with Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
We'll get to that
Yep. Oh, yeah.
eventually. There is one more thing I wanted to talk about that I forgot about. Which is really important to mention. And I know I've been talking a lot, but this game, Art of Fighting, has an anime OVA.
You sent me that link.
And it is shitty. It is not, honestly, I don't think it's as bad as the Fatal Fury anime, but it is like, here's my big takeaway from it. And I love this, but Robert in the anime sounds to me like Paul Lynde. And it's like, because he's got this kind of like whiny voice. Do you know who you know who I'm talking about?
Nuh-uh.
Hollywood Squares.
Oh.
Where, it's
Okay.
like, I can't think of any of his catchphrases, but he's kind of got this thing going on where he
Yeah.
talks like this, and it's like, that is like when Robert first spoke in the anime, it was like, holy shit, like I'm going to watch this. And it is like, it's kind of like this comedy anime.
We've got to save Yuri.
Right, yeah. It's like one of those. And the reason I say I think the anime is better than the Fatal Fury anime is because like an Art of Fighting, they don't take it seriously. Like it's a jokey kind of like Saturday morning kind of anime.
Yeah.
I mean the animation quality is very bad, but I mean like as far as like I don't know, it's watchable. It's on YouTube, so I mean
May as
I don't
well.
know, might want to check it out.
All right. What else you got?
Nothing, man. I'm done, dude.
Okay.
We talked about how Ryu and Yuri had a really shitty father who murdered a guy, and they just never talked about it again.
Yeah.
We just got that check. That's done. Talked about the anime. We're good.
Okay.
You want to close this down?
Yeah, but first, we need to center ourselves because we need to
Domine.
say a prayer. And I wrote a little prayer everybody can
Oh.
inscribe onto your hearts.
Okay, please.
Because I put it on a comment, waiting on the comments on a post.
I hope it's like, Our Father, who art in random location. Random be thy name.
Random be the random title. May your coins land on edges. May your cards be jokers. May your dice land in cracks. Trust the will of the randomizer. Its wisdom always true. Its punishments always merited. Or whatever. It's random and fucking awesome.
Will you do that every show?
I can.
You'll memorize it? You'll inscribe it on your heart?
I've got a screenshot where I wrote it.
Will you set it as your home screen on your phone?
Okay. Yeah. Move over one of my favorite pictures of Melissa. I've got this on my home screen now.
Hey, you got to commit, man.
That's true.
Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, you got the randomizer prayer on your phone. The other days, it's your favorite photo of Melissa, okay?
Okay.
You ready?
I am.
See what we get?
All right.
Do the thing.
No whammies, no whammies, no whammies, no whammies. Stop.
206.
All right. It's not Alfred Chicken, but okay.
It's not. It is Gemfire.
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 How do you spell Gem? Gem?
Yeah, I say Gem weird. It's Jim Halpert on fire. It's a game where you try to put them out.
You mean Gemfire?
Gemfire. It is Gemfire.
Fire with an I or a Y?
With an I.
All right. Gemfire.
Have I said on the show how, like, Nikki always corrects me on Jim?
Oh, Melissa always corrects me when I say joy.
Joy?
There's the word joy, like I'm experiencing joy.
Yay!
Or there's like short for Joseph, joy.
Joey.
So I intermingle the two lines.
I love it.
She's like, you say that weird.
Yeah. You know why I love it? Because my thing is with Jim, which is also a man's name.
So
Joey and Jim.
So that's whenever we want to do like a sitcom about a bumbling couple.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Thursdays at 8 with Joey and Jim.
Gem.
Jam.
Did I do it right?
Joey.
Gem.
Joey and Jam.
Gem. I do the same with pen and pen.
That's one I do focus on. Now I'm also trying to hit my G when I say younger.
Oh, dude,
because that was my country word.
Dude, you gotta hit
severely.
The G.
Younger.
You ain't hitting the G? I know you're hitting the G.
Now I'm hitting the G.
You're hitting the G.
Now I'm hitting the G hard.
When I try to correct myself in pen, like the writing utensil, do you know what my go-to is? Bruce McCulloch from Kids in the Hall with that, my pen. I have to do that in order to say pen correctly. In my mind, every time I try to say pen correctly, in my mind I say my first. And it's like I'll be constructing a sentence and it's like, could you hand me my pen?
I think about as it was one of Melissa's first boyfriends. He came to our high school like his freshman year. He was from somewhere far to the north. And I remember when he came and he asked somebody like, hey, can I borrow that pen? And everybody like stopped, looked at him, and burst into laughter. My what? Say it again.
Oh, that brings back flashbacks.
My pen?
Yeah.
Look at the dumb northerner.
Yeah, I don't like that. That's tough. Because that was me essentially reversed in Pennsylvania. Yeah, that was fun.
Is that where you keep your pigs, David? In a pen. Would you like to borrow my hog cage, David?
Yeah. Oh, man, that was a rough. Fifth grade was rough.
Why don't you move down to Georgia again, David? Not in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
We're Joe Biden's people up here.
The Biden boys.
Well, thanks for listening, everybody. The next episode will be over
Gemfire.
Gemfire.
I don't know what it's about.
It's also our horrible superhero, Gemfire.
It is I, Gemfire. He used to be a villain.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Let's see. Hey, do you like our Ask Reddit intros? I hope you do.
Yeah, because we're out of shit to say.
Yep. If you don't, you can send us something, and we'll open it. We'll talk about that to TADPOG Studios, care of Nicole Nance, P.O. Box 3785, Paducah, Kentucky 42002. Because Choco Chica has also said, please, I want some chocolate. So she has issued, please, she would like chocolate to come on and try. Hey, do you want some of that dank shit? Some of that dank, deep TADPOG shit?
Want some of that Bob Marley's Ghost?
If you want some Bob Marley's Ghost. Because you'd like TADPOG, that's our official Facebook page. We don't get like that real shit on there. We get the real shit on TADPOG Nation. And then if that is not dank enough for you, if you need like that deep web, dirty shit, then you got that Discord.
It's true. bit.ly/TADPOG Discord. And if by you mean the deepest, darkest, dankest shit, if by that you mean me at 1 a.m. posting a whole bunch of commercials from the 80s, then that is accurate.
Because you sent me that the other night too,
Dude,
and I was like, Oh shit, that dinosaur SpaghettiOs.
Yeah, the Chef Boyardee dinosaurs, man. Like,
it confused me as a kid because I told you, like, because in the commercial, if you spot the pterodactyl, you win. So I remember I opened it up and I was like, shit, where's it? Pterodactyl. Oh shit, I found pterodactyl. What? Okay, what do I do? How do I won? I was like, fuck you, Chef Boyardee. Fuck you in your pterodactyl-shaped asshole.
that turned into me on Discord issuing a challenge for people to find NSFW Chef Boyardee. It was a tough search, but I had nothing to do with it, but several people.
Get your Rule 34 pickaxes out, boys. We're going searching.
Yep, they mined some stuff. One of them, I think, might have been a Bobcat Picasso.
Perfect.
So a night on Discord birthed new gross art. I think the other one was from actual Mark. I'm not positive.
Okay.
Because I'm not sure what name he uses on Discord, but it was similar to his name on Twitch. So
okay.
I'm going to give a shout out to actual Mark for that. Which was Chef Boyardee face fucking Kirby like he was a fleshlight.
And I wanted that the end result to be suddenly like he comes in Kirby and Kirby just like you see SpaghettiOs just coming out of the edges of his mouth.
They just like drool out.
Black tears and just like SpaghettiOs dripping down his chin.
Oh man, you just made a thing I like, not a thing I like. I don't want to think about Kirby with black tears
and SpaghettiOs. Come on,
the SpaghettiOs is weirdly fine. Actually, it's not, because I remember, was that on eFucked where we saw that video?
The Tale of Corn or whatever? Yeah. Whoo, that is a rough one.
Is it called glorping?
Yeah, where he's fucking that girl in like a pool of SpaghettiOs or cream corn or something. Yeah. Let's see. Hey, we got a bunch of new shirts. So shirts.tadpog.com.
We do. Thanks to Jonathan Wilson.
Heck yeah.
We got some Tad Dogs shirt.
They're so good, and they're in new colors.
I forgot how to pluralize things for a minute. Tad Dog shirt.
And then you're working on one that I'm very excited about, because working on the next shirt will be a randomizer-based shirt. You showed me some rough sketches, and I'm so excited. I'm so excited for it.
I like it. I'm working on it. It's not there yet, but I want to put I want to put some time into this one.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh fuck yes. Yeah. Let's see. So I did Facebook. We got Twitter _Tadpog _podcast on both Twitter and Instagram. What else we got? Am I forgetting? You want to call us 270-883-2555?
Yeah. You want to find us on like a social media platform? Just put in Tadpog and it'll probably pull up.
It's pretty out there.
Even if it's cucumbersome, you'll get it.
You'll get it. Yeah, you'll get it. I wanted our friend of the show, Chris Black. He's got albums for sale. He is a very talented artist.
Yeah,
very
absolutely.
funny guy. You can buy all of his shit from Chris Black. So just come to Paducah. Come to Dave's office.
Yeah. Yeah, that's where I buy all of my stuff from Chris Black. Because I just walk over to him and I'm like, hey, can I buy one of those albums? And
he
he's
opens
like,
his trench coat.
And he's like, well, I shouldn't say this. You have to. I definitely buy them from him. He does not give them to me.
What are you buying?
What are you selling?
It's Patreon, I guess.
Yeah, we do. We have a Patreon. Hey, did you enjoy this? If you did, we invite you to donate to us on Patreon. It's patreon.com/tadpog. There are a few people that I would like to thank for their recent donations and their recent increases. Those people are huge thank you to Laud, who's Laud Dennis, who was just on our NFL Quarterback Club episode. Dude, thank you so much. You're in the top tier, my dude. Thank you. I'd also like to thank Drinksmith Joey Webster for increasing his donation by a penny.
Oh yeah,
riding that penny train. And I would like to thank a new donor, Matt and Jordan.
Nice.
So thank you for the new donation. I hope you enjoy all the bonus material that is up on the Patreon. And also thank you to Sandwich Pope Phil for plugging the Patreon with that amazing image that you made and posted to Tadpog Nation of the waifu pillow shoot.
So good.
If you don't know what the waifu pillow shoot is, Just throw $1 at us on Patreon. You'll find out.
I also, as of today, a whole new set of tens, which I'm thinking I need to think of. That God Emperor Alex Pena upped his donation to do a new set of digits.
What?
Yeah,
I missed that.
because whenever you mention Patreon, I always
Yeah.
I always want to go and look, and I see it came in today.
I must not have gotten the email yet. Let's see. Yep, there it is. Good Lord. Thank you. God Emperor. We got to get a new title.
Yeah,
we got to upgrade
that's
it.
a new set of tens. It's
Holy
gonna be.
shit. I'm glad you saw that.
Oh shit. What's above God Emperor?
Randomizer slave.
Yeah, there you
I mean,
go.
that's what
right
we
above
are.
God
That's
Emperor
you
is
and me. We're
randomizer
randomizer slaves. Fellow randomizer slave. God
and,
Emperor.
and God Emperor.
Alex Pedia. I don't know. We'll come up with something
Yeah,
good.
something. Fuck. Well, our theme song is Moves by Sycamore Drive. We'll leave that track from the charts at TADPOG.com. How you want to close this out, Dave?
I want to close this out as Buff Chris Farley.
Okay. So until next time, Tropical Capricorn.
Hey, that was a good, yeah, that was a good inflection on there. G7!
El Nino.
Go ahead, Tyler, please.
Who's the wrestler that played Super Shredder?
No idea. I didn't even know
I'll
it
be
was a
your
wrestler.
Huckleberry, NWO wrestler.
Razor Ramon?
Mm-mm. He was in that crew.
I'll be your Huckleberry is Val Kilmer from Deadwood.
Yeah.
But the wrestler always said
Yeah,
it
you know
too.
what I mean.
Huge dude. Never mind.
A giant.
Andre?
He was almost as big as the Big Show. What was his fucking name?
Kevin Nash.
Kevin Nash. Thank you.
I didn't know he played Super Shredder.
The Pretty Big Show.
The Pretty Big Show.
Yeah.